Invasion or adaptation? This is the question we must ask ourselves when we see these images. A magnificent polar bear, its powerful form framed by the decaying door of a human home, peers out into an empty street. Others walk the silent avenues, their massive paws treading on cracked asphalt where children once played. This looks post-apocalyptic, yet it is real. A stark story unfolding on a remote Russian island. The stage for this remarkable drama is Novaya Zemlya, a vast, rugged archipelago in the Arctic Ocean, north of mainland Russia. Its name means new land, now a new frontier of survival. A land of extreme cold, sweeping tundra, and long, dark polar nights. Once strategic in the Cold War, settlements rose to support bases and research stations. People lived, worked, and raised families here, until priorities shifted and towns were abandoned. Today, entire towns stand as silent monuments, snow piling in hallways, wind whistling through broken glass. Emptiness created an unwitting sanctuary for bears. These structures offer refuge from biting winds, man-made caves in a vast exposed land. Novaya Zemlya sits along historic sea ice highways critical to bears. A silent stage where survival meets a changing world. To understand why bears enter towns, we must understand the bear itself, Ursus maritimus, the marine bear. A creature exquisitely adapted to sea ice. Insulation, water-repellent fur, powerful swim and stride. The ice is hunting ground. From its edge, they ambush seals, rich fat that fuels life in the cold. Seal's fat provides the high-energy diet bears require. Masters of patience, they wait for hours for a single chance. In winter and spring, with ice abundant, bears feast and build reserves. As summer advances, ice retreats, worlds shrink or drift far offshore. Time on land was once a fast, resting, living off stored fat. They are not built for land hunting. Terrestrial foods seldom suffice. When the ice cycle falters, survival does too. Hunger pressures behavior, ancient patterns begin to break, and the wind carries a new scent from empty towns. Toward human ruins, they go. The driver is simple and powerful: hunger. Rapid climate change shortens hunting seasons across the Arctic. Ice breaks earlier, forms later. Time on the ice vanishes. Many arrive on land in poorer condition, thinner, weaker, more desperate. Extraordinary smell leads miles, to faint traces of food waste. Abandoned buildings promise shelter, and perhaps calories. For mothers with cubs, rooms can serve as temporary dens, safer from larger males. They learn from success. One breakthrough spreads, and soon many associate towns with survival. Not conquerors, but hungry animals at the edge of endurance. Man-made caves, desperate logical options when sea and land fail. Inside the perimeter, the human landscape becomes a surreal wildlife documentary. They move with purpose among rigid geometric lines. Methodical explorers, sniffing doorways and ground floor windows. A locked door is a minor obstacle to such power. Glass yields with a swipe, entry granted. Inside, noses lead the way. Kitchens, pantries, any sealed container. A ghostly tour of human life in scent and texture. In 2019, over 50 bears descended on a dump. Desperation on full display. Scraps laced with plastics and toxins. Dangerous calories. Buildings also offer shelter, a place to conserve energy. Cubs play in deserted playgrounds, ingenuous and heartbreaking. But danger is everywhere. Broken glass, sharp metal, collapsing floors. Spoiled food, insulation, waste, poison in disguise. A poor substitute for seals on ice. Life on a knife's edge. Some settlements still host residents. Military, weather staff, contractors. Their presence turns isolation into a high-stakes challenge. Awe gives way to risk. A hungry or surprised bear is dangerous. Apex predators aren't easily scared. Safety becomes paramount. Communities adapt. Don't walk alone. Avoid nights and fog. Carry deterrents. Patrols, trained dogs, and vigilant perimeters deter entry. Waste control is critical. Bear-proof containers. Prompt incineration. In 2019, after more than 50 bears entered Beluga Guba, a state of emergency underscored the scale. Locals empathize with hungry bears, yet human safety must come first. Keep bears and people separate. Fences, noise, strict behavior protocols. Scientists are unequivocal. This is not an anomaly, but a consequence of warming. Satellite data show accelerating loss in extent and thickness, especially in the Barents Sea. Tracking reveals longer treks to find hunting ice. Stress up, body fat down. Diets shift to poor substitutes. Cub survival plummets. Mothers struggle to nurse. Elders fade first. Behavioral plasticity buys time, but garbage cannot sustain populations. Without halting ice loss, projections warn of near ice-free summers within decades. Only stabilizing climate can secure a future for these Arctic lords. Authorities prioritize human safety with clear protocols and non-lethal deterrence. Noise and light drive bears away without harm. Vehicles help guide animals back to the wild edge. Persistent cases may require tranquilization and relocation, costly and temporary. Community training saves lives. Secure waste, travel in groups, stand your ground, make noise. Smart infrastructure reduces attractants and encounters. Teams blend tech, traditional knowledge, and science to prevent conflict. Lethal control is a tragic last resort. Failure of prevention. The goal? Peaceful, distant coexistence. Safety for both. Bears in empty buildings are more than a curiosity. They are a living symbol of our predicament. Not invaders, but animals at the edge of existence. Two sides of the same coin, human relics and wildlife's hard future. The near-term path: compassion, careful management, smarter infrastructure. Invest in bear-proof systems, support on-the-ground teams, avoid sensationalism. Yet local fixes treat symptoms. The root is sea ice loss from global warming. The bear's fate is tied to energy choices and our pace of transition. Act decisively, and ice can return. Bears reclaim their rightful kingdom. Fail, and bears in buildings become a lasting epitaph. Their silent invasion is a plea for balance, a call to action we can no longer ignore.